Going for a 4-4-2.
He didn't know what was going on in the room.
Elias managed to refrain from swearing.
He said, if you've got a problem with me, let's sort it out in the gym.
He's exactly the same with our lot. The thing is...
Come on! Where has that come from?
Yeah.
They brought through the door. You know, you look at the...
What a performance! What, you know, the guys.
That we ruled off quite stupid things like that.
Live from Style Space at the Supporters Club. Right.
But he was getting a bit tired, I thought.
Come on! Here we go! Come on! Come on!
Yeah! Go! Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I've got a bit of feedback here. Welcome back to West Ham United. I'm Anton. I'm joined by Luke _Bailey1. How are you doing, Luke? Are you buzzing, mate? Are you buzzing?
Do you know what? I'm not even buzzing. I'm just in shock. I'm just...
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel, but I just... It keeps going along. The train keeps going along, and there's no... I mean, you can say that West Brom is a reasonable game to try and get points from. You can say the same about previous games, but generally... I've never known West Ham to be this comfortable and keep winning, and I'm just not used to it. And I'm buzzing, I'm happy. I mean, that was the longest 15 minutes of my life. But yeah,
mate, we're kind of just kind of rocking along, tickety boo, sitting 7th in the league. Let me bring up the league. As you can see on the screen here, just at the bottom right hand side from One Football, of course. West Ham sitting in 7th position, played 19, won 9, drew 5, lost 5. Goal difference 5, only conceded 22 goals at the halfway point of the season on 32 points. Look, let me just remind you, mate, we got 39 in all of last season. We've got 19 games to play.
Crazy.
Mate, did you know we're unbeaten in 2020? 4 wins on the spin.
You mean
2021.
Yeah.
4 wins on the spin, mate.
That's what he does. That's what Moyes does. He wins. He did say this when he first turned up. It's taking a while for those words to take effect, but this is what he does. He wins. Yeah. You know. This is what he is.
It's absolutely crazy. But listen, before we actually get on into the game, there has been some bit of breaking news coming out, which is that the Premier League are actually investigating the Snodgrass decision and the transfer of Snodgrass from from West Ham to West Brom. Based upon Sam Allardyce's pre-match comments that there was an agreement between the two clubs for him not to feature in tonight's game between the clubs. Now, I don't know what the rules and regulations are, but that is just breaking news that the Premier League are going to be investigating the physical transfer. So hopefully nothing comes of that, and it's a discrepancy they can put to the side. So just wanted to let you know. Get the comments in as well. Make sure you subscribe and hit the... Yeah, of course, mate. Playing a little bit of games, but mate, Antonio has got his 41st Premier League goal for the club. Mate, talk to me.
Do you know what? I watch him now. I find it cringeworthy watching him because I always feel like he's going to go down with an injury. If you watch, he doesn't actually throw himself as much as he used to. But as a striker, he just bursts into energy when he's in that box. I mean, the rest of the build-up play is he kind of doesn't run very much. He hardly jogs, but he's got them moments where the ball comes near him. He's having it. That's it. That's his ball. And his second goal was perfect testament to that. The ball's knocked down. The ball's behind him, so he has to bend his body back to try and reach the goal. Which is, I'm not going to say his name too much, but Hilaire is perfect in those. It was perfect in those positions, and that was like a hilarious goal. Which is, he's just. It was, the Man City goal. The Man City goal was obviously better than that, but that's in that position where he's got defenders around him. It's an awkward angle, and he's finished it perfectly. And this is my argument when people say that people say he's not a striker. And Arnautovic wasn't a striker. We made him into one. We've now made Antonio into a striker. If we now put Antonio back on the wings, we completely deplete him of the player that he's become. And long it may continue because he's an absolute bargain for what we bought him for and what he's turning into.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Let's have a look at the West Ham starting lineup. What was your thoughts when you seen the starting lineup? Fornals was rested, dropped. I say rested for Lanzini for starting. So what did you think of the starting lineup?
Yeah, I wasn't too shocked. It was more or less, I think no one was expecting anything different from that. But that's I think that trio of Benrahma, Lanzini, and Fornals, they're going to be interchangeable now, and I think it's kind of a good thing because all three of them are start worthy, and none of them really have played particularly poorly. I think Rich was talking about in the group chat before the game started that he couldn't believe there were so many defensive players on the bench, but I think Moyes is trying to make the most of what he's got. He's got a fairly small squad, and all the players. Like I said, I think I said in the other match live we done on Saturday that there isn't a player in there you go, oh, he's playing, oh, he's crap, he's going to hold us back, Which I'd actually think when Noble come on, to be fair, I thought, why is he doing that? But then I can see it, and to me, we're so defensively solid that we don't have to worry about scoring goals. We haven't got to worry about conceding goals. To me, it's the standard. Like you said in the preview last night, that we're becoming predictable, but it's a good predictable because it's not something that we're struggling with, and it's. I've got no complaints, to be honest with you. I don't know if anyone has in the comments, but did you think anything? Did you think do you have an opinion on it?
No, if anything, when I saw the lineup, I genuinely felt quite positive. I thought it was a good attacking lineup, and the first half, especially the first 10-15 minutes, I felt like West Ham were really pressing. We were playing nice football, and we really, we all said before the game started that we felt like we had to get a goal very early on, and in particular we had to get a goal in the first half. We'll come on to the goal in a minute, but we had chances. I thought Benrahma was playing well. I thought Lanzini had a quiet half. Someone made the valid point by saying he wasn't great, but he wasn't poor. Souček, Rice dominated. The defence was solid. We were really composed. We were really calm, taking the ball out from the back, feeding forward. Dawson and Oggy had it all covered, and I thought Soufal and Creswell had a fantastic game today. I thought the two of them outperformed their positions and really need to get a lot of credit where credit's due. I know Antonio walked away with the man of the match, but Soufal and Creswell for me were really up there. What was your thoughts on them?
Yeah, Creswell's turned into a very good link-up player. For someone who many thought was finished a couple of years ago at left-back, since he's had to revert back to his old position, he's taken the form and the confidence he had from the first few games, and he looks steady as anything. There's a few misplaced passes and that with him and Brom, but that's going to happen anyway. But genuinely, they both him and Kufal play like wing backs, but they're not wing backs, and it's refreshing that we can have that model of a formation that they both can. They've got to defend, 100%. They've got to defend, but they can also got the freedom to go forward. And I think with Kufal, his crossing could be better if it's the only criticism we've got of him. But he's got an engine to go forward. And he's got his head up. He's always got his head up, trying to look for. Yeah, he does, mate.
It does.
Same with Creswell. Creswell's got that as well.
Creswell's found his form again, though. I mean, there's no ifs or buts about it. But let's talk about the game. First 10 minutes, we really should have taken advantage of that. We had a couple of opportunities, but we didn't. And then, you start to feel a little bit. You would be silly not to say. I mean, well, not silly, but I was still confident. But I was just a bit like, come on, take these chances. What you don't want to do is start creeping into the 30th minute, then the 40th minute, and then, you're panicking a little bit. But at the end of the day...
He scored, to be honest with you, goal.
But, Benrahma was quite effective. He was very effective, actually, in particular for the goal. He put a massive cross in. I don't know what it was. It was up and under. It was like a rugby pass, really, to be honest. And it went out wide to Soufal, who hit it first time into the box. He smashed it, mate. He absolutely smashed it. And who was there? None other than Jared Bowen to tap the ball into the back of the net with his chest. Talk to me about the goal, mate.
Yeah,
and literally the 40. What was it? The 46th minute.
I thought it was 44th, actually. I thought it was,
Was it?
Yeah, sorry, on my thing it said 45th, I think, on BT.
Yeah, no, it was in injury time, actually, yeah.
Yeah, it was near enough, 46th minute anyway, but yeah. I thought we headed it originally. And then,
so did I.
I didn't think his chest was that good, but obviously it was. A lot of people said in the previous game that he's becoming a frustrating player, and possibly they've got a point with that, but it's little things like that you can't really moan. He's there and it mattered. He makes himself available. The thing about it is, as I'm sort of saying to a few fans now, we're playing a formation and a game plan that doesn't really allow players to be that expansive. They've got to be workhorses, and that takes away some ability. Now, when you watch someone like Brom, who was already mentioned, is that I don't know how defensive the teams were in the Championship, but he's got less freedom now than he had in the Championship. So you're going to be taking away some of his ability in a way. And I thought he had quite a good game today. He looked eager to get the ball in the box and make things happen. But there's times where he was maybe trying to beat a player too much. He was trying to duck and dive and go past him a little bit too much. But I'm like I said, him, Lanzini and Fornals, they're very similar players, and in this formation, he's not going to get the best out of them. But the whole team, they're benefiting the whole team, and for me, it was a great goal for West Brom to concede that goal with wooden defenders in the box. I was quite impressed, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we went in at half time 1-0 up. When I thought it was good, sticking one up to Sam Allardyce, who's obviously sitting through the game trying to muster up some excuse as to why, trying to figure out some excuse as to why West Ham can lose this game, and maybe if he's going down the Snodgrass route, we don't know. But let's get into some of the comments and we'll talk about the second half in a minute. Bob Uncle, Antonio has to be the best striker in the Premier League. Pace, good in the air, hold up play, runs the channels and now finishes to boot. It's a valid point, mate.
Big claim. Yeah, I mean, you've got players like Harry Kane that are still scoring, so I'm sure the Tottenham fans ain't going to like that, which that'll cause some controversy. But
look at that, though. Him and Kane could do damage in the Euros, and it's so true. Yeah, absolutely. That's from Toby. Marcus Lieb is saying, should have stuck with your initial 2-1 prediction. I said 2-1 prediction. Luke, you said 2-1 prediction.
I said 2-1, yeah. I didn't say the right scorers, but I said 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Let's see here. Hammer80 is saying, good result. Great to see Antonio score once more, but we need a new striker as soon as possible, because if he's injured, we will be in a spot. We will be, mate. But listen, not taking anything away from Antonio, that's his second winner in 2 games in the space of a week. Massive goals he's getting for us, mate. He's so important. It's absolutely mental. West Ham's record against non-Big Six teams this season: played 13, won 9, drawn 3, lost 1, points 30. Huge difference for us, isn't it?
We lost that many games. I think we lost that many games.
Lost 1. We've lost 1.
Sorry, yeah. So I saw the 3. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But that's a big difference, and that's the big change, I suppose, Moyes has done, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. James Bong is saying, just popped open a bottle of claret and they've just the league table on my TV screen. That's a good shout. Actually, I might go outside and do the same. I need to make sure the missus isn't watching any telly, but I might put the Premier League table up for you, and we'll go there. Kent is saying, not great tonight, but got 3 points, sign of a good team. I don't know if it... I thought the first half was good, and I thought the second half we allowed West Brom to come into the game a little bit more. I don't think, I don't really know if we really feared West Brom to the level. The last 10-15 minutes, maybe so, because like you said, look, we really let them in. We invited them into the game, and we sat back and tried to protect the lead, but we done the job and we got it over the line. Any marks you want to make on that?
Yeah, I'd like to ask the comment section, the people watching. Are people saying we didn't play that well because we're not playing that much attractive football? Because I understand people were a bit bored by the football and it's not free flowing and everything, but I don't think we're playing badly, and I don't really understand how people were sort of saying we're not playing. And if people want to debate and say I'm talking out of my arse, that's up to you. I take criticism, but there's something about this keeps bringing up this boring football, this solid, and I completely understand where people are coming from. It's not free flowing, it's not entertaining as such, but I think while we're playing the way we are, you can tell why we're playing the way we are. And if we were playing like this and drawing games and not winning games we're supposed to, I can understand it a bit more. But I don't understand really how we're playing badly. I can understand boring. I understand boring, people saying boring, but I can't understand us playing badly. I don't think we're playing badly at all. My opinion, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think people are, I was saying it to Stell during the match day live. It was like the difference between, people are wanting maybe more lively, maybe going back to the 4-3 victories, etc., etc. Yeah. But at the end of the day, mate, we need to get some clean sheets under our belt. We're doing that job. We're not conceding goals. We've had fan base, me massively included, by saying we need to shore up that defence, sort out that defence. 62 goals we conceded last year, and we've only conceded 21 this year. So far at the halfway point. Massive changes, mate. Nathan Eth is saying West Bromwich Albion stated it wasn't legally binding, it was basically their choice. Don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Interesting comments from Allardyce regarding the Snodgrass transfer deal. Detail is not allowing him to play tonight in the interview after the game. Ronda and Tony Tanti, boys, do you think some of the players are starting to look leggy? That's probably where you need to rely heavily on squad depth. And do you know what? I said it during the game, mate. I wasn't massively impressed with Benrahma being brought off because I thought Benrahma was still growing into the game and he had a good first half. But at the end of the day, he came off and West Ham went ahead and won the game. You know, so who are we to comment?
It's that's what I'm saying. The results speak for themselves, and I think you got someone like, for me, Yarmolenko come on and hasn't really got the opportunity. Every time he gets the ball, he seems to be like, well, I've got to do something right now because I'm not going to get him any chances to make anything happen. And okay, players are coming off. They're feeling like they don't want to come off, but if hopefully they're looking at the big picture, hopefully they're going to training on Monday going, yeah, I can understand actually won the game in the end. And hopefully, they're not going chucking their toys at the pram saying, well, I want to start more, I want more time on the pitch, because you look at the results, you look at where we are, surely the players are happy and they can see that there's a result out of their hard work. And if they're unhappy, they're unhappy. That's just the way it is.
Yep. Anyone watching Leicester are beating Chelsea 1-0. Hate the Spuds buzzing hammer. I'm trying to see if I'm dreaming. 32 points, but it's real. How well has David Moyes got this team playing so fantastic? 4 wins in a row. May it continue. Tell you what, mate. The Thomas Souček has got the transfer deal to bring him in has just transformed our football club. He was like the kind of, he was the not the final piece of the jigsaw, but he was the first sign. It was the first signing of the jigsaw, yeah, absolutely, mate, and it's made such a difference. Unbeaten in 6 games, that's Nathan. There's so many comments here. I mean, it's tough to get through them all because we could be here all night.
This reminds me of when we were under Pellegrini and we won 4 games in a row. But either side of those games, we didn't look well. We didn't look great at all. We lost the first 4 games, and this is a completely different situation.
Yeah. Jihad Ahmed is saying Moyes is under evaluating Benrahma. The lad is doing his best between all lines to make better connection. I mean, do you know what? At the end of the day, I think he's performing really well. Doesn't look happy when he's coming off, but at the end of the day, we're winning games. Can we really fault the decisions that he's making? If he was coming off and he was our creative player and we were losing, then it would be a whole new ballgame. So
if people remember back to the Pellegrini days, players used to run off when they were getting subbed. Well, previous days, now they take their time, they're walking, they're shrugging their shoulders, they're shaking their head because they don't want to come off. They want to stay and then they want to do something, which is a good sign. Yeah,
good way of putting it, actually. I like that. Look, Ben Davis says, we've won, cheer up, people. We had 59% possession, can't be that bad. And yeah, so many comments, so we'll get into this. What's this here? Alf's back. One happy hammer here. Yes, indeed. Marcus Lee is saying, what's that, 8 points from safety now? It's absolutely mental. But I wouldn't be surprised, mate, if the league again falls under the trap of having low numbers, low points to stay safe. But we move into the second half and we struggled a little bit, but I mean, it wasn't an awful first 10 minutes or 5 minutes, but we really let them come in and they scored a goal from absolutely nothing, mate, didn't they?
You know what? I think it was as ridiculous as it might sound, it was actually a good thing for us to concede because the defending I thought was quite poor. It was like Bonner and Dawson, etc., were waiting for someone else to make the tackle.
They stepped back, didn't they? They played off him, didn't they?
And he had like a circle around him, circle of defenders who just backing up. I think what it might have been is the fact that we haven't conceded for a few games, so we almost it's like a complacency that we're not going to concede. Do what you want, we're not going to concede. So suddenly they've scored a goal and we're like, oh shit, we can concede goals. And it's a wake-up call to make us go, now we've got to go forward a bit, which, as you saw, after that goal, we started to take the initiative again. We started to go back into boss mode, and we got a goal out of it. So, they had their fun for a little bit. we let them do what they want, but
yeah, absolutely. But to be fair to West Ham, we didn't just lie down and let them come at us. I mean, they did have a couple of chances, and you were starting to feel like, are we letting them come into this game? Yeah. But we kind of fought back a bit, and then it came to the 62nd minute. Moyes decided to make a double sub. Yes, you heard it right. Double. I think you weren't the only one, mate. I think we kind of all were. And he took Lanzini and Benrahma off and brought Yarmolenko and Fornals on. Question I'm going to ask you was it harsh that Fornals was dropped, and was it the right decision to bring both of them off?
I think, look, to be honest with you, some could say it's harsh because he got an assist at the weekend, but I am at the position now where I'm not questioning Moyes at all. I'm totally Moyes. I trust whatever he does. I think right, this is the best thing. What annoyed me was I was listening to the BT commentators, Martin Keown, etc. And look, I wasn't a pro footballer, so I can't talk. Martin Keown will know more about football than I ever will. But the information that they were giving out was stupid. It was like, Yarmolenko's going to come on the left. Thinking, well, no, obviously Bowen's going to come on the right. Mark Noble's been subbed on the last few games. No, he hasn't. He got subbed on once or twice and started one game. And it was like I was trying to fight with him in my head, going, no, even the Premier League commentators can't keep up with what we're doing because we're shocking people. And when they come on, like I said before, Yarmolenko, I think he struggles to get into games a little bit now because he hasn't got the time to try and set his stone. But I think Lanzini coming off was the right decision, but I think he played okay. Ben Rama, look at the result. Look at the way we played. Clearly, it was justified because after they come on, I don't think West Brom had another stiff in front of goal.
Well, they didn't, mate. It was like the 62nd minute we made the substitutions, and very quickly after that, we went ahead. So we kind of met those substitutions with what they were designed to do, and you know the players had a kind of knock-on effect for it. I think what was it? Yarmolenko headed the ball down to Antonio, who had to kind of like you described the goal. It was the fact that Yarmolenko was offering him a bit of support, and Antonio with his back to goal, and the ball was really low. Got low enough, and it was a kind of small mini overhead kick, really, wasn't it? And it was just a great goal. Yeah, absolutely.
The slow-mo replay that done it from one angle made it look like his standing foot buckled underneath him for a second, and I was like, "That's a great goal, but please don't do that again because I don't want you to get injured."
Yeah,
it's so bad at the moment. Honestly.
Everyone, welcome to Stel. Stel is back in the house.
Delios.
We're just going through the second half still, and we're jumping on some of the comments as well as we go along. And like I said, you know, it came to like what, the 75th minute, I think it was it something like that when the 80th? I'm trying to actually, no, there wasn't. We're going into the game. West Brom are they're coming at us a little bit. There was a chance they had where the ball kind of came to the player. Was it Kanu? And it was on the penalty spot. And he could have put the ball away, had it on the volley, but it went wide. So we were riding our luck a little bit. Then we made the substitution. Still, Mark Noble came on for Antonio. We knew Antonio needed to come off because we just thought, he's not limping off and he's not running down the tunnel. What was your thoughts? I know you were on the Matchday Live, but for anyone that's watching, what was your initial thoughts when Antonio was coming off and Noble coming on?
I was glad Antonio went off without limping or without having an injury or anything like that, or having to strap a lump of ice on his thigh. But equally, I was a bit nervous that Noble came on because even though I have said in the past that I think Noble, it's the perfect scenario for him to come on in the last 10 minutes or so to tighten up the game, I just got a bit worried that I thought maybe West Brom had more in midfield, and maybe even those 7 minutes might have been a bit too much for Noble. But the game petered out, and we got our win. But it did make. I was glad to see Antonio come off without any injury, which is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I said during the Matchday Live, I thought when Mark Noble came on, and we don't have other options on the bench. That's his kind of West Ham career now. It's to kind of shore off, end the game out. Take the game to the end and make sure we don't concede. And we sat back, we invited West Brom, but at the end of the day, there's no ifs or buts about it. Sam Allardyce did spend the whole game hoofing the ball up the top, didn't he, Luke?
I wouldn't say that exactly. I mean, they didn't play great football, but they weren't as Allardyce as I thought they were going to be. They defended exactly like they thought they were going to be, but going forward, I thought they were quite a counter-attacking team, actually. Pereira didn't really get clicking until he scored his goal, but he was a constant for him. I think Gallagher, was the one that hit the shot that Fabianski saved. They weren't. This is Moyes does a very Moyes teams. Well, our team under Moyes now has a very good skill of shutting teams down so much that they can't even play. So even though Allardyce is known as a long ball merchant, he didn't get the chance to be like that because when you look at most of the time they had the ball, they were trying to find people and couldn't really do it. And I think we shut them down. Suchek had a quiet game because he was so effective that he didn't really need to put himself in that position anymore. But I didn't think it was that bad. They weren't as traditional as I thought West Ham Allardyce team were. But they didn't deserve to win. That's certainly. But they weren't that bad. I don't think they were that bad. Personally.
I think it was probably more of a professional performance from West Ham, and it's funny. I do think that they hoofed the ball up a lot. I felt like I kept.
Sorry. Cheers.
Yeah, no, that's fine, mate. I just had that comment up there. So I genuinely felt like it was during the game. We were constantly like at one point when West Brom had the ball, I was a bit like this. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. But to be fair, that was helping us. That was playing into our hands. Yeah. Because the amount of times we had to feed the ball back to the keeper or it was going out for a goal kick, it absolutely suited us. But Sam didn't get one over West Ham. Still, we've walked away with the 3 points. We are unbeaten and have won 4 in a row in 2021. We're sitting joint 7th place, 3 points off second position. I mean,
what more can you ask for? What's going on? I think Jazz put in the comments in the match day live that we've broken a record since '58. I can't believe that was that the last time we won 4 in a row in the league. I mean that's madness. And what more can you ask for? He's made the whole team solid. You know what we were talking about in the first half, how composed we were. I think we lost that composure a little bit in the second half, but in the first half, it didn't look like the sort of West Ham that we've become accustomed to. Every time the ball used to come to the 18-yard box, all our defenders used to do in the past was just hoof it away as far as possible. Yeah. And now we're playing it out of defence. You know, we're absorbing all the pressure, and it's a really Ian Smith. It's a new West Ham way, mate. I can hear a reverb. I can hear myself. Reverbing. Is that your
mic? It's not that bad. You can still hear yourself clearly. It's not that
it's
bad.
his microphone, that crap microphone.
It's not. No. No one else is. No one else is moaning about it there. So I think it's just you still.
Yeah, all right. But I mean, I can't believe we're halfway through the season and we're not thinking about how we're going to stay up in the league. And people are talking about Europe now. I mean, it is early doors, but I mean,
the league. We're going to win the league, mate. We're going to
win the league. I'll tell you what, anything's possible.
Oh,
isn't
it's
it,
funny.
really?
It's funny though. You've got to say there was a comment up there. I tried to find it. Someone had said that by this stage in the season, normally the top team would be roughly at 60 points. At this stage, normally in the league, they would be at 60 points. Right now, they're at 39, I think it is. West Ham on 32. But we're also 3 points away from.
Isn't it? I think it's 37, the top team.
Is it the top team 37?
We're 5 points behind them. Yeah.
So, Yep. So I mean, I don't want to get carried away, but like it said, I mean, if we have a second half of the season like we've had a first half of the season, but
I don't want to jinx it. That's the problem.
No, but I'm just saying, if we even, I mean, I don't know what does half of what we got. How many points does that give us? Half of what we got. 32, 16.
2 plus another 8, another 16, 42, 49 points, 48
points. 48 points.
48 points.
I mean,
not good enough.
It's not. No, it's not. Especially after the first half. Now look at us all.
Look, first things first. We're 3 points away from safety. Oh no, sorry, 3 games away from safety.
Do you know what? You could questionably say whether or not you're mathematically safe now, because I can see this season being a low-scoring point season, especially that everyone in the season is all over the shop, and I wouldn't be surprised. So,
but once we go to that magical 40 points, I want to see what Moyes does with the team. That's what I'm looking forward to.
What you think?
Championship. You what, mate?
You think he just wants to get us safe and then he'll relax and not care about it?
I actually really do. Yeah, I actually really do. I think he wants to get us to 40 points, and then I want to see what he does with the team, because I keep saying, people have been saying that we've been unlucky not to win by more goals in the last few games. We've not been putting our chances away, but I just want to see if it's at all possible whether he will unleash a few of the youngsters when we are at 40 points. For example, will he play Odebeko from the start in the league rather than waiting to play him in the cup and stuff like that? I want to see him do that. Because he'll have nothing to lose, will he? He can experiment in the second half of the season.
I see what you're saying, but I personally think he's actually going to be quite ambitious. If you look at the fact that he's taken on Suchek, right now, Sparta Prague. I apologise. Sparta Prague were in Champions League, right? So the Champions League players played against Messi, against Barcelona, the rest of it, right? And I don't think he'd have taken him on and going, look, we're just a Premier League team, a mid-table. We might get this, might get that. If you come to us a couple of years, we might sort of stuff. So I personally think that he's got these players in because he visualises actually being successful. Now, everyone's got definitely different examples of what success is. But for me, I said this before, we've got players like Declan Rice who have been linked with Chelsea. Before the start of the season, I said we needed to be successful. Now, for me, that's top 6. No matter how outlandish that sounds. Now, it doesn't sound it because we're 7th. So it's an achievable thing. Now, I'm not just saying this because we're in the position we are, but to keep players like Suchek, like Rice, etc., you have to be successful. And for me, that's Europe minimum. So, I don't think he's just trying to keep us safe. I think he's trying to achieve something personally. That's what it seems to me.
Still, I don't know, just very quickly, mate, I'm not sure if you've actually seen it or have heard, because I know you're eating your dinner, but do you know that they're looking at investigating the transfer between West Ham and West Brom for Robert Snodgrass?
I read a comment. Why? Because they've made an agreement that he can't play today.
Something we don't know. We don't know if it's just Allardyce doing it, but Premier League have actually announced that they are going to look into it.
I got a notification off On Football saying the Premier League were investigating that during the game. It wasn't. Yeah. I heard that before even Allardyce had done an interview. So. Yeah.
But for what reason? If you can agree.
They haven't said. It's definitely related to the clause to state that he couldn't play. That's all we know. No one said what the rule is. All the fans are sitting here guessing, saying it's allowed. Some people are saying it's not allowed. So nobody really knows what it actually means.
You actually come to an agreement when you loan a player out. I think a player can play against the team he's loaned out to, unless the two teams agree.
Look at this comment.
You'll have to get a transfer.
Good point. Do you know what? Yeah, it's a good point. Fair point. Yeah.
But I don't see the problem because it happens with loan signings. So if the two clubs have agreed to a transfer where they've agreed that the player can't play in the game, what's the problem? If both sides have agreed to it, both owners of each club would have agreed to that. So I don't see what's going to be investigated, to be honest.
Yeah.
But,
no, I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting, but let's have a look at some of the stats of the game. We've got here West Ham's possession, 59% to West Brom's 41. Total shots was 14 to West Brom's 6. We had 6 on target to West Brom's 2. And like we said, that was the some of the stats for the game. But lads, it's all positive signs at West Ham, innit? Doncaster next in the FA Cup Saturday.
We're going to lose to Doncaster, and all the good feelings are going to be, we're shit, you don't want the cup. What's the point in this? But I'm worried about Doncaster. I'm more worried about Doncaster and West Brom. That shows where I am still mentally.
Yeah, because they beat, I don't know if they beat them convincingly, but they beat Blackburn in the last round away from home.
Do you reckon?
I don't know. I get the concern and I get the worry, but tonight, when we done the preview of this game, it probably was the closest, most realistic, most reserved prediction I have given of a game, of a score, but wasn't just all of that. It was probably the most realistic of them all. I go into each game going 3-2, 3-2, 3-1, 3-0, 4-1, 4-0, which most fans are doing because we were scoring goals. But now we've shut up shop. He's just grinding results out, and it's now like 1-0, 2-1, and I'm starting to get that vibe against the smaller teams that we can actually turn up. It doesn't matter if it's 1-0 or 2-0 against Stockport or 1-0 or 2-0 against Doncaster, because at the end of the day, Moyes is just looking at the result, and the result is let's get through to the next round and we'll deal with the next game.
Yeah,
and that's what. And since he made that comment, what was it he said before the Burnley game? I'm looking at the next 4 games and I want 4 wins.
Yeah, he did,
and he's got 2.
Palace is going to be a very. It's going to be.
We'll beat Palace. Let's just hope we beat Doncaster
to fall down.
To worry about, yeah. But then what's his name? Randolph didn't have a very safe pair of hands against Stockport last week. But he let one slip, which was a bit sort of, back up.
It was just one. It was just one.
Yeah, shouldn't be any. Shouldn't be any.
He's clutching
be
at
any.
straws. I get it. Look, don't worry. Yeah,
Crazy Cole made a comment. I've lost it now. That I said
we are due a
about my
big win.
dinner. No, he said something else about was I
chicken.
moaning at my dinner because he thought I was moaning on Sunday in my show. I wasn't moaning on Sunday in my show. I was just saying that we were just getting a little bit boring. It wasn't a boring game today, though. I think the only disappointing thing today is we conceded. Really, really pissed off.
Yeah. Can I ask you a quick question?
Go on,
I
mate.
asked a little bit earlier to the comments. I said, do you think that we're playing... Some people were saying we aren't playing that well, right? That's the general consensus. We aren't playing that well, we're getting results, right? Do you think we're not playing well because we're not playing free-flowing attacking football? Or do you think that it's just a negativity based on the way we play? Because I personally think we're playing well. It's boring, but we're playing well.
I think we're playing consistently.
Right.
That doesn't necessarily mean we're playing well, and it doesn't necessarily mean we're playing badly. I think that's why I kind of half joke about getting to 40 points, but that's why I think that Moyes does want to get to 40 points, and that's why I really want to see what happens after then, because I think he is a little bit risk averse. Playing Antonio, for example, consistently without even giving him 10 minutes. I know he brought him off in the last 7 minutes today, but that sort of shows that he just wants to, he wants to get over the line. He wants to win the game.
Do you think his hands are tied with Antonio, though? Because he's now the striker.
I think his hands weren't tied for the Stockport Cup game. I think he could have started Odebeko in that, and that would have given him a rest. In terms of the last two games, no, probably not. His hands were tied because we needed him. We haven't got another striker. But my theory is, if he'd given Odebeko a run out in the cup, we would have seen what he's got on his hands, which might have given him a little bit more confidence to have given him a run out on Saturday or a run out tonight. That's so. Geezer in the black looks like a maths teacher.
A good one or a bad one. A good one or a bad one.
Fashizi's saying the rumour is Odebeko is self-isolating. No, I don't know. I mean, it's a rumour. We don't have a clue.
So.
But
I don't think so.
Anyone's saying why he was left out. I mean, it is a bit odd as to why he was left out, to be honest, because even if he is going to get game time at Doncaster, I can't see why he wouldn't have been on the bench to get around the squads.
Because Moyes is scared that he will score and GSB won't buy another player. I don't know. We're not playing badly, Luke, but we can. I don't think today's game was boring. I think maybe the last couple of games have been a little bit dry.
Would you rather us not be having this winning form yet play more attacking football?
Oh no, of course I'd rather us be winning, but I think we've got it in our locker to score more. But Moyes' tactics kind of sometimes hold us back a little bit, I think.
That's fair.
But a lot of people say they don't think he is defensive minded. Still looks like a what?
Really?
Still looks like a plonker, yeah. Anyway. He looks like a manager or a pundit clocked the roller neck. Very smart still.
I like it. I like the roller neck personally. I like it. I think
it's after work, mate. Some of us work rather than, you lot just sitting around preparing shows all day.
James Bong, brilliant shows, guys, yet again. But don't forget, Stell's promised shortest show on record. The team announcement at about 4:30. Yeah, he didn't do one, mate. He promised you all this.
I didn't get the team news until 10 to 5, and I thought it was pointless.
Well, it wasn't really. You could have done it. You promised everyone. And listen, I apologise. I apologise on behalf of Stell from West Ham United for not putting out a show, because even though he tries to pretend to look like a manager, I manage him. He needs that in his life.
You do talk so much.
There we go. Look, I'll give you an example. There we go. And the reason why this show was going to be short, now not short, was because the moment we went, hi, there's Stell.
Honestly, you talk so much garbage, Suntra. I'm surprised you've been
Leicester. Leicester must be beating Chelsea 2-0.
Good.
Right, lads. I think that's us. West Ham have won 2-1. Obviously, at the London Stadium, we've got 3 points, 2 out of 2 from the games that Moyes said he wanted to win. 7th in the league, 3 points from second place.
Can I just make a point, by the way?
Yep.
I did a OneFootball video to help for the promotion to the video, which is about a couple months ago now, and Anton hasn't used mine. So I take it it's not very good. You don't want to use it. You don't want me to encourage people to download the app from the video. Take it, so.
Mate, I did one.
Fair enough. He said Stell's was worse. So
I did one, and it was pretty poor, and it's never been shown again.
Look, I've got yours, mate. I've just not had the time to actually edit it and put all the stuff in.
Mine wasn't very good either.
No, it is. No, yours. No, genuinely, yours is fine, mate, and it's going to be getting used. Don't worry. I've just not had literally the time. But when it comes to Stell's been promising it to everyone for weeks.
I'll do one. I'll do one.
He's going to say it. No one believes you, mate. No one believes you. Anyway,
it's all right.
Honestly, kids at the back of the class.
Well, you do realise that the Reed Bonner thing is going to start again because he's creamed his pants the other day because he saw Bonner. He saw Reed in the training ground.
I love Reed as well. I think Reed was a brilliant player, but I leave it because he doesn't think Bonner's a very good defender.
No, I do now.
You do now, do you?
You do.
I do now. Yeah. No, I do now. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Finally, you do.
Because he's found a partner that can play alongside him. Anyway, I've been Anton. Listen,
hang on. I just want to bring something up before we go. Hang on a minute. I just got to show you something. You know, Reed came back for training the other day, and Anton creamed his pants. Look at Odebeko in the corner there, going, "Who the hell's that? Who the hell is that?"
Odebeko's not even looking at him, mate.
He went. Who's that?
Yeah.
Like that.
Just,
who's that?
Yeah.
Even his own players don't recognise who Reed was.
Still was the hostage. Still was that. Was that the hostage video? I mean, if you want to keep going, mate, I've got your video. I can upload it.
Play it. If you want people not to subscribe, go ahead and play it.
Well, I don't know. I'm starting to feel like people might subscribe if we play it.
It was poor. I agree. It was really poor.
Honestly, you two really need your own show. Seriously,
no, we don't.
Honestly,
no, because I don't want to talk to him any more than I have to.
Exactly.
You're pretty sure love messages on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
John, I love you. So I didn't mean to argue with you. Sorry.
West Ham Minds United in sponsoring our channel for the Matchday Live videos, our Highlights in Words review videos, and the West Ham Weekly videos. OneFootball is a fantastic app that you can download onto your device by clicking the link on the description below, which takes you to the Android shop or the Apple shop.
I can't listen to it anymore. But we're not actually sponsored on this video from OneFootball, so we can't. Yeah, you can download the app, but just wait. Yeah. Hold up today's paper still.
I'm going to do another.
Yes, Fo, finally you love me, mate. Yes.
Read your mind. Dear. I will not do this.
I agree. It was awful. I agree. I'll tell you what I think you should give it a special code and see how many people do actually subscribe to OneFootball from that. Just keep playing it.
I tell you what, we'll use it. I'll use it for next week's video, right? And we'll see what happens. Until you give me a new one. Until you do the Right, listen, I'll get Luke, I'll get yours up, mate, and we can all judge each other's ones and go from No, it's coming, it's coming.
Why don't we just do a show just playing OneFootball videos? And then people can vote for the best one.
Twitter will love us for that.
Absolutely. Hold on a second, here we go.
OneFootball have teamed up with West Ham Minds United.
I'm going to send that. Look, I'm sending that video to you, mate, because you can do something funny with that. I know you can.
Yeah, all right.
If you see any of the funny posts on our social media, it's all down to Luke. Anyway, listen, we're rambling. I'm Anton. He's Luke. He's Stell. This is West Ham United. Subscribe, comment, like, and do the usual. And we'll see you later on in the week for some more shows. Come on, you irons.